I got a feeling we're gonna catch some good catfish. Tony, you was out in this area yesterday, and you had a 20-pounder right off the bat, didn't you?
30-pounder first.
It's always important to remember to never leave the ground without wearing a safety harness.
There are a lot of copperheads in this area, and there's no doubt you can see the drags going down into the water, into the hole here, I should say. Welcome to A Sportsman's Life. We're so glad you tuned in to join us for another exciting real-world outdoor adventure right here on A Sportsman's Life.
Well, friends, look who I'm with, Mr. Tony Pennybaker. Welcome to A Sportsman's Life this week. We're out at Lake Tawakoni. Tony has been catching some big ones. Tony, the trophy season is just,
It's here. It's time.
October, November, December, January, February. I got a feeling we're gonna catch some good catfish. Tony, you was out in this area yesterday, and you had a 20-pounder right off the bat, didn't you?
30-pounder first fish.
30-pounder. I saw the picture. Nice one. The only problem I see, we don't have, you're looking at the cameraman right here. So what we're going to try to do is I'm going to try to film Tony hooked up, get a big one, but when he gets that fish up close, I'm going to have to shut it off and grab a net because we don't want to lose him. So that's the way we're going to have to do it, Tony.
It'll work.
It's going to work, and then we're going to get the fish in the boat and show everybody. I say it's probably time for me to quit talking and me and you start fishing. Tell them how they call you in case they miss it out later in the show.
Get a hold of me by calling 903-474-3078. Or look me up on Facebook. Website's Lake Tawakoni CatfishGuide.com. My bait site is bestcatfishbait.com.
Tony P's?
Tony P's Punch Bait.
Punch Bait, it's good stuff too. Well, let's get going, Tony. What do you say?
Let's get some baits in the water and see what we can catch.
Let's do it.
I think you got bigger fish than you think, Luke.
Oh, I got a good one. Yeah.
Pick him around here to me. Yeah, you got another good slot. Hold him right there. Just pick your rod up little. There you go.
Got another good slot
There's a good one right there.
You bet, a good slot
Heck
fish.
yeah. Let me get the net and we'll get him in there.
All right.
That's a good one right there.
All right, there's another good slot fish coming in.
Good. These fish aren't coming real fast, but they're quality size.
They are. Well, that's those two fish right there. There are plenty to feed 8 people. Can you hold him up? I love to look at those.
Don't do this. Don't let this one get me, Luke. I'm still bleeding from the last.
I know. Tell them the golden rule. Take your pliers and snip.
Always snip the point off these things.
The little
And I didn't do it a while ago, and I paid the price.
Just snip it don't hurt the fish, but it will avoid hurting the fisherman.
After tens of thousands of them I've snipped, I didn't do it once, and it got me.
It got you.
My weight. See how much slack he has?
And yet another one. Yes, sir. He's out there a ways, isn't he, Tony?
You see him boil the water right there.
Yeah.
You gotta let that weight go down. Look, see him?
Ooh, that's a nice one.
That's good in there.
This is as good as it gets, buddy. Whoa.
That's good fish here. This might be a turnback.
Maybe. Maybe.
Put him up here and look. Look at it.
Oh,
That's probably 15 pounds.
let me get. Okay, again, friends, the cameraman is going to have to stop action. Go get the net. I will be right back. Friends, this is the big fish of the day right here.
You're going to need the big net on this, and he's coming in hot.
Okay.
Woo-hoo.
Okay, I'm on the deckhand a minute, so the camera's going off. Okay, back to the big fish filming for just a little bit. Look at that rod.
Ball.
I'm going to be doing the net program here.
Yeah,
oh my God, folks!
Woo, look at him take that drag.
This is a big one. This is a big
There's a
one.
big one here.
I'm gonna have to get off of this and get the net. So I'll be back, folks. Okay, the deckhand me is back to videoing. That's the big fish of the
They're
day.
getting bigger.
They're getting a lot bigger.
This was a lot of fun to catch. Now.
Oh yeah, I got most of it filmed. Of course, I had to drop the camera, pick up the net, do my deckhand work. That's a 35-pounder, isn't he?
He circled the boat.
He did.
It was
Beautiful
a great
fish.
Fight. Beautiful fish.
We're going, of course, he's going to go back in the
We're out
lake.
for meat today, but he goes back.
Yes, let's put him back.
This one here can go back and grow up some more.
There you go.
Here we go. We're going to let him slide right in there.
He's
That
gone.
was almost good as Olympic
Hey,
diver.
Tony, good work, buddy.
Thank you.
Fishing don't get any better than
It don't.
this.
It's
It
a
don't.
lot of fun.
Well, friends, we are back at the dock with, well, what did we keep? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we caught them up to, we're guessing 35 pounds on the top end.
They're good 35 pounds.
Yeah, and we released all the bigger ones, you know. But really, mess of fish is going to make a bunch of fillets right here. That old big one. Tony, hold that up just for the camera. Let them take another. They saw him probably when we caught him.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah,
That's a big fish. That's about a 10-pounder there.
Probably about
10 or 12.
And then 8 to the small cup. Actually, you
Did
saw
we weigh? No, we weighed. That fish weighed 14 pounds.
He did.
We weighed him because he's right under my 15-pound
Yeah.
limit.
Yeah, he
And
did.
the goal was to get Luke a mess of fish, and that's all we wanted. So
Yeah, and folks, as you have seen, did I pass as deckhand help? You know?
oh yeah,
Okay,
good
well,
deckhand.
Good. That's what I need to hear. But I was doing the camera.
And a film man too.
You didn't know that. I've got to brag on Luke here. You know, yeah, I got the Tony fighting a bunch of fish. We got that, and then, but I had to shift gears into my trained deckhand workmanship. You know, and then do that, and then come back and film it. Folks, we had a lot of fun. Me and this rascal always has fun together. Tell them again, I want to make sure they can call you and come out here and get with you.
Nothing better than this kind of fishing. We've been
Nope.
doing this for a while now. It's getting better and better. It'll even get better. And so give me a call at 903-474-3078 or go to my website. You can book direct. It's LakeTawakoniCatfishGuide.com. And if you need some channel catfish baits, you can go to my bestcatfishbait.com site and order that right there, or just give me a call and I can take your order online or book your trip either way, whichever you want to do.
Tony, thanks a lot, buddy.
Thank you, Luke.
Yes, sir. Folks, a lot of people don't know about the belly meat on a bigger catfish. That's some of the tastiest part of a cat.
A lot of it, too. All right, here you go, Luke.
Look out, look out.
That's gonna cut you.
Now tell me describe those. Let's look at. Oh my gosh.
I say it's probably, I'd say 2 bags, big bags, close to 20 pounds.
Just look down in there at all these, yes.
And folks, that's fully trimmed.
Yeah, let's hear, wait a minute. Let's hear that again.
This is fully trimmed, ready to cook, delicious Lake Tawakoni Blue Cat fillets.
That's it.
Brought to you by Dallas Safari Club, Conservation, Education, and Hunter Advocacy. Hornaday, accurate, deadly, dependable. Taurus Firearms, maker of the Raging Hunter. Stealth Vision, high-tech precision-driven equipment tailored for the modern hunter. One of nature's most interesting insects is shown here. Can you see it? It's called a walking stick. Walking sticks fall into the category of stick bugs or leaf bugs. They are masters of camouflage and blend well into the surroundings. Walking sticks are found worldwide. There are over 3,000 classified species of walking sticks. These little critters are primarily nocturnal. The predators that seek out these interesting little critters are bats, birds, reptiles, and spiders. Of note, some walking sticks can omit a substance through their skin that make them taste bad to avoid predators altogether, or they simply play dead. Walking sticks will spend most of their lives on a host plant species, which will help protect them and provide them food, such as leaves and new plant growth. The average lifespan of a walking stick is approximately 1 year. They're interesting and fun critters to watch. Just remember, walking sticks can't hurt you. You can actually pick them up and put them on your hand and let them crawl up your arm. It's always important to remember to never leave the ground without wearing a safety harness. Read the instructions that come with your harness to make sure you're using it properly. Check the expiration dates. Safety harnesses only last 3 to 4 years. Always inspect for wearing signs, tears, rips, or loose stitching. Never carry gear when climbing up a tree stand. Use pull-up ropes. And always check the stand straps before climbing as well. Never modify your harness from the original manufacturing specifications that came with the safety harness. Never ever hurry up a tree. Always tell someone where you're hunting. And lastly, carry a whistle in case you do need help and are unable to yell. A whistle works very well. A Sportsman's Life is also brought to you by Mossberg, American built, American strong. The YO Steakhouse, Catch and Release Apparel, AGM Global Vision, your go-to for thermal hunting scopes and spotters. Pyramid Air, your one-stop shop for everything air guns.
Hello sports fans, this is Bill Carey with Striper Express for your fishing tip on A Sportsman's Life. Here we go. The striper fishing on Lake Texoma is on fire. Top water, it's October. This is what we're using. Zara Spook, any color. My go-to favorite, the Cordell Pencil Popper. I like the blackback foil belly. I like blueback too, and I'll explain. Here's the Pencil Popper's little brother, blackback foil before the sun comes up. Blueback foil when the sun comes up. There's your little tip. Now, after that, we're chasing the birds. This is a white glow. I like 5-inch sassies that glows underwater. Our head, 3/4 to 1.5 ounce. And of course, we're slabbing. You can bump these slabs on the flats, or you can drop and reel. Here's a good one for deep water. For deep water, just reel that one fast and catch the stripers. It's on fire. I had to tell you, this is what we're using. Go to Lake Texoma, call your favorite guide, and here we go. Sportsman's Life fishing tip. Go catch a fish.
A special thanks to these fine sponsors, Vineyard Max Deer Products, and the Anchor Inn and Marina on beautiful Lake Tawakoni, 1 hour east of Dallas.
Last year we had a ground blind set up just beyond this little bush right here, and there were bucks working this area pretty regularly. There were a lot of rubs and scrapes kind of along the edge of this opening. It's an old gravel pit area. When I was a kid growing up, these were really thick woods. But this is one of those places here that for whatever reason just kind of calls me whenever I come down here to look around. And it always just felt like this is a place that you ought to be able to find a pretty good deer. And sure enough, Lance saw a really nice 10-point for our area here. Unfortunately, didn't get a good shot at him, so he was not taken by us, and he was not taken by any of our neighbors. Hopefully, with it being as dry as it's been, hopefully, he's as good as what he was last year. We left several young 8 points. I'm talking about young being 2 and even some 3-year-old 8 points and 10 points last year in this area. It's hunted all around us, but not hunted very heavily, and most of these folks are kind of into the same thing what we're trying to do. They're trying to get some older age bucks in this area. This is one of these areas where by state regulation, buck has to have 4 points per side, or he has to be a 13-inch inside spread, which is a primary thing considering all the parameters that you have to meet as a 13-inch inside spread. You can take some spikes, which we generally just kind of leave alone because we want to try to increase the buck population here. But then secondarily, too, you can take a buck if he's got 6 points on one side or 6 points or more. So we got a few of those bucks like that. There is an old 6-point that roams around in through here that this year I'm guessing he's probably going to be a 4 or 5-year-old deer. And In the past, he's just had G2s and brow tines and the main beam, and saw him last year, and he was, oh my gosh, I never got a chance to take him. If I'd have had anything but trail camera pictures of him, I probably would have shot him. He was just a cool-looking deer, and this year I got a feeling he'll be back. He's been the same pretty much every year in terms of the number of points that he has, and of course the spread and main beam have increased, as has the mass. And also there's a 8-point here last year that we got trail camera pictures of that we had a little bit of a drop time. I'm hoping he shows back up again this year, so who knows? We'll come back in here. This is an area that Lance will hunt primarily. I may come over a day or two if when he can't come to hunt this area, and then we'd set up another area with the snap lock blind primarily for my daughter to hunt, my daughter Teresa, and if we need to bring somebody else down, somebody else will hunt out of there as well too. Sometimes you run across armadillo holes, such as what this is right here. You can see the hole they dig in the ground, that's where they live. But what I want to show you is there's snake drags all along here. And those snakes, you can see those drag marks where they use this as a den. So it's one of those things, you don't want to stick your hand in a hole here anywhere, and you want to be real careful where you do things here. There are quite a few copperheads, as we saw earlier. That was a little one, but there are a lot of copperheads in this area, and there's no doubt you can see the drags going down in the water, into the hole here, I should say. And we'll be real careful later on. These don't look like copperhead drags, so they look like some kind of constrictor. Looking at the size, and it's probably a western racer, what we used to call a coach whip, that lives in this one. And there may be some others in there as well too, but got to be real cognizant and be really aware of snakes when you're working in, like we do here in this kind of western edge of the East Texas area. We're kind of on the edge of, right on the edge of the Gulf Coast Prairie, and also of the Tawakoni Woods just to the east of us, and a lot of different vegetation here, but you got to be careful, like I said, of snakes year round. Even during the wintertime, sometimes these snakes will be crawling.
Folks, this segment was brought to us by Gearhead Archery, Smoking Tex Electric Smokers, Snaplock Hunting Blinds, YO Ranch Headquarters, Ultramatic Feeders, and Catfish Pro. Tune in next week for some more real-world outdoor adventures right here on A Sportsman's Life.